Welcome to organ practice this week. I want to talk to you about an interesting aspect of keyboard history and play you some of the end of this Bach fantasy that I'm working on. I'm working on the Bach fantasy in G, which is also called the Piece d'Orgue, or the Piece for Organ. It has a French name, curiously, because we don't have any original copies of it, and the first fair copy that we have is a French copy, and it says Piece d'Orgue, Piece for Organ on it, and they think it was written under the influence of the French organist de Grigny. I don't know about that because I don't know of anything that's as virtuous as this piece is in the French literature of the time. In any case, here's the part of keyboard playing that's fascinating to me. Apparently, before Johann Sebastian Bach, everyone primarily played the keyboard with just their fingers and didn't use their thumbs at all. And so we have the fingerings from the time where they would play scales with just like 2 and 3. How come it's not going? Like that, just playing with 2 and 3, or sometimes 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, as a pattern for scales. Little variations on that, but no use or very little use of the thumbs at all. And then Bach was the one who looked down at the end of his arms one day and said, "What are these things doing there? As long as they're there, we might as well put them to use." And there's a funny sentence somewhere. His son, Karl Bach, Bach's son, wrote a famous treatise on playing the keyboard, and in it he says some funny phrase like, "Before my father came along, we never had enough fingers to do anything, and now we have too many fingers to do it." And the point of all of this is, at the end of this fantasy, Bach gives us this sort of virtuosic cadenza, which I could probably play if I really had to without using my thumbs, but it's infinitely easier to play with my thumbs, and the thing is just absolutely wild. And I think that the introduction of using thumbs, sounds so strange to say today, really allowed for virtuosic keyboard playing of this sort that's not like anything that came before. So the end of the I'll play you just a little bit of the end of the chorale. There's an introductory section in the fantastic style, as we call it, and then there's this long chorale in the middle, and the end of the chorale ends on this big pedal tone, and then comes this crazy cadenza. So I'll play that out so you can hear the end of it. And the chorale ends sort of like this. You thought it was going to end, right? That's how it should end, but he goes. And then we get the wildness. very cool. And thank you to J.S. Bach for discovering that we have thumbs that we can use for playing keyboard instruments. All right, tune in again soon. Bye.